Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Odessa the Dark Crusade Season 2. On this rare, wet, rather stormy evening for Odessa, we home in on a local Toreador ancilla known only as Margot, who appears to be in a bit of a hurry as she is rushing to the noble's quarter for reasons yet unknown to her, only aware that she has been summoned by a force that she is not yet aware of. Having recently fed and being one of the few canites in the city who's been able to feed well.
She'll go there without fuss. She has no problem with being summoned. It's being staked, especially when it's being staked by behind that she doesn't like, which is pretty much what's been keeping her from going. Because she was thinking of going and presenting herself and seeing if she could do something. But then Madeline kind of attacked her, and then the hounds came, and she was like, "Yep, maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe they'll kill me." Now she's been summoned, and there is no one with a stake, so she'll be like, "Okay, I'll go."
Oh, one thing you would have noticed before you left your haven over the past couple of days, to put it rather bluntly, there has been a rather large amount of limbs building up within your haven.
Okay. Do I know who they've come from? Have they come from people who work in my haven? Or...
No, they're just there.
Okay.
Limbs with less than subtle sigils carved into them that have been kept in your cellar for some reason. It's caused your staff quite a bit of concern. Who've been trying to get rid of them, only for them to reappear the next day in the same place.
Yeah, and has she seen her demon since?
No.
Okay. So she's not sure who that is. It's usually something the demon might do, but now she's not around. Doesn't seem to be around at least. For now, let's focus on the subject at hand. Let's actually just follow her whim, follow the summoning.
As you are summoned, you've got your carriage because it's faster. You live in the guild hall, so it's quite a, it was called as a fair distance away. You wind up heading on over the bridge because the noble's quarter is over the river, and you end up heading into the gated community at a rather brisk pace. You really can't wait to get past the guards, and you almost end up running them over in the sense that they open up the gates. Like, these gates just cannot open up fast enough. After allowing you into this gated community, you have your carriage rider. You have your carriage rider rush you down about halfway, fairly far into the noble's quarter, up to a walled off building. Fairly large front garden and back garden, but there's only so much space. It's still inside the city walls. And the guards, as you walk up to them, or rather, you ride up to them, seem to be expecting you, and they just let you in. However, they have something that is notable is that they have weapons out.
Yep, she'll totally ignore that fact, like meh, and she'll just go through. Hello?
As you head in, you're kind of running in because of the power of the summoning, that there is no waiting here, there is no patience, there is no taking anything in. You initially come into a large foyer to this sort of small kind of estate building. It's not, again, there's only so much space, so it's not really a mansion. Although it is definitely a very large house relative to what most people would be residing within. You merely run across the foyer, up the stairs, which are kind of in two stairs on each side that are kind of in a semicircle, go upwards to the first floor, which is visible from the ground floor, and kind of run up to the guard guarding the door, which appears to be the source of your summoning.
Okay, yeah. She'll, like I said before, she'll just go there without a fuss. So she's running, apparently, but she's not resisting anything. I'll go there as she is summoned.
The guard's a bit anxious as you basically try and open the door yourself with a lot of force. And you know, you because of your sort of emotional state, you kind of forget you have to turn it first. You almost rip it off its hinges. Perhaps if you're a bourgeois, you would be ripping it off its hinges. The guard simply pulls down their handle, rather and some ceremoniously, like putting some weight on your wrists as you do so, but opening the door up to you as you kind of swing it open and head on inside, which is where the summoning kind of reaches its climax and then fades. In which case you see multiple portraits on each side of the room, all impeccably crafted. They all appear to be sovereigns, old and new, but those that which you've never heard of before. Some appear rich and regal, like royalty should. Others appear quite poor and quite simple. Others appear to be almost middle class. But all look very. The picture emphasizes their strength, their virtue. Some look like they have a very noble bearing. Others look very strong and confident. Others look quite taciturn. Others look quite almost innocent, compassionate, beautiful. Others look more, for lack of a better term, tactical, subtle. A sort of subdued look about them. There's a wide variety of people on display here, from rather wide diversity of the portraits. Appears to be people from all sides of the world, even. But waiting for you in this room as the door is then unceremoniously shut behind you. You see 2 candle holders at the back of the room, one on the left wall, one on the right wall, 2 at each side of the door that you just passed through, and a chandelier. You are left with 2 rather imposing looking Canaanites, one of which is the seneschal. He looks less than pleased.
Fuck. Chill. First thing she does is she fixes her hair, make sure that none of it is on her face or anything, because she's like that, and she fixes it quickly, because she just ran, and then she'll walk forward.
What is the sheriff doing?
The sheriff is the sheriff is quite frankly, he is staring down Margot. His cold, the cold that follows him, seemingly kind of moving through his eyes, as if he's hoping to chill her to the bowhound screw up, and he'll have to help clean up the mess. What a noble man he is.
The seneschal just stares at Margot. Doesn't really stand on ceremony in any way whatsoever. He makes no gestures towards you at all. He just stares at you.
She'll bow. Have you summoned me? Seneschal?
Sit down.
She'll sit.
I intend to ask these questions to you once, so do not lie to me or waste my time. Question 1. Have you been involved in making a pact with an infernal entity?
I made a pact to try and get us out of the tower when we were all stuck at the top, and the rats were running the city when the plague started.
So yes, you did.
And she'll nod. If I may speak further.
No.
Okay, she'll stop.
Were you involved in a rather unceremonious breach of the silence involving Johanna's Haven?
I see. What is he talking about? I don't think I was there.
That time where you used celerity to get to Johanna and then got torpid and then got
Oh
thrown
yes.
off the house. Because the acolytes are helpful.
Oh yes. To save a fellow clan member.
And were you not involved in the partial destruction of one of my clanmates' own places of business?
I was there, but I simply ran as soon as I could. I did not harm the place itself.
But you did arm yourself.
I defended myself when I was attacked.
You defended yourself from what, exactly?
From Madeline attacking me with a stick from behind.
You mean a respected member of another court looking to apprehend you on a well-documented case of infernalism?
Had she asked me to follow her, I would have come.
We don't talk to infernalists.
You should feel honored that we're giving you this opportunity now. Frankly.
If my sorry. Okay.
No, it is perfectly fine. You have a much reason for this as much as I. Frankly, miss, it were up to me, you would have already been your head.
Then I am thankful it is not.
If we're up to my grandchild, you would have been destroyed long ago. In fact, you would have most likely been destroyed where your partner in crime showed up with my clanmates at my great-great-great-grandchild's place of business. It would have simply been ended there. Considering that it's been reported that you and the creature are on good terms. The only reason we're allowing you to even speak to us right now, to persist as you are, is because your answers may be of some value to the court, and as such, the rest of Canine society at large. By the way, you're bound fairly significantly to the Seneschal. His words really hurt.
May I speak?
Sorry, Nelson, what did Margot say?
May I speak, Seneschal?
Please indulge us. This is very
If I could get rid of the creature that's been following me, I would. I made the deal because I thought it was the quickest way and simplest way to save a number of us, but the demon, the thing that has been following me since I was a child. It followed me because of what the horrors that happened to me when I was young, and I've been trying to get rid of it ever since. But it doesn't seem to be around anymore since the Prince Ulrich, well, wait, she doesn't know it was Ulrich, I shall say, since it was seemingly killed, I haven't seen it since, so I can speak freely. But until then it followed me everywhere, and I did not know when I could speak against it. I did not know how I could get rid of it, and it was difficult to get people to help people because I did not know when it was following me when it was here.
To my
I am
knowledge,
aware
it's been
that
recently empowered. It was not even remotely as strong until you indulged it. And then you brought your problem here and made it worse. And now it is a threat to all of us and not just yourself. And appears to feel confident enough to walk around without you.
Sorry, what was that last part?
And apparently feels confident enough to walk around without you.
It was not like this when I arrived. I doubt I'm the only one that made it more powerful.
Conjecture. You have no evidence to back this. But you were witnessed engaging in a pact with an infernal entity, and it has grown more powerful since then. There is only one logical conclusion to draw from such a line of evidence. If you wish to accuse other members of the Court of Infernalism, then by all means go ahead. I assume you have damning documentation to prove this.
I will not denounce anyone without proof. I do not know who
Then do
did
not
it.
waste my time with conjecture and assumptions. This court, and in addition neighbouring courts to this domain, take the notion of infernalism extremely seriously. For what purpose should we allow you to leave here intact? What reasoning could we possibly have? I'll perhaps be more charitable than any other man would be, and give you an opportunity to convince us.
If the demon is hunted down and killed, I have no reason to. If the demon is hunted down and killed, which I haven't seen it since it was seemingly killed, I will serve the city with all of my heart, or everything I have, with the passion that toward Orchard.
But until it's, the implication of your statement is until it's hunted down, that will not be the case. And what is preventing you from making a pact with another and another and another?
I would not make a pact with another. As I said, I made the pact because a number of us were stuck. It was the simplest and quickest way to get out.
Where were you stuck?
At the top of the tower I shall say the tower where she is.
And who was stuck there with you?
There was myself, Johanna, wait, it's not Garland. What's the mocking bonus character? Garnet. And what's the name of Madeline? Was Madeline there?
Madeline was there, yes.
Yeah, Madeline and Madeline and trying to think of his name, Robbie's character,
Aldrich.
Aldrich.
And how did it get you stuck up there? And how did you get down?
We were stuck up there because we were at my bathhouse when we started hearing screams. We saw rats in the streets, and so we decided to go up to investigate further. When we were up there, the door was shut.
He just looks at you.
And it had taken, when I went to reach for my key, it had taken it. And when I reached for my key, it had taken it was no longer in my pocket, and I looked for it, and the demon, that foul creature, had it. It was still more small at that time. It wanted to keep the key. It was going, but for it wanted to give me the key, but for a price, and so I decided to take the key. I did it for the people that were there.
How was this door locked exactly?
As you lock any door, it was locked shut.
Yes, but what I mean is, could you not break it down? If you were all there, trapped and locked, could not one of you...
Couldn't you have simply jumped off the roof?
Broken it down?
There were people running in the streets. There would have been a breach of the masquerade, it wasn't masquerade then, of the veil, I think. Yeah.
Silence.
So it would have been a breach of the silence.
Then remove the breach of the silence. From what I hear, you traded your soul for house keys. I weep for the next generation of canines.
The sheriff puts his hand on the senator's shoulder as if he's like, I agree with you. I agree with you tremendously.
My soul was not part of the deal, at least as far as the creature said.
You made a pact with a demon. Your soul has long since been forfeit, regardless of whether you wish to realize it or not.
With such creatures, my dear. And from the looks of it, you have already tumbled. You have tumbled down the hill, and you are heading straight to the cliff. And from there, God will no longer hear your cries. That is what I see before me.
I have not made any other deal, neither would I make any more deals with that foul creature. I have told you the truth till now. Why would I lie about this?
You have every reason to lie.
And I had every reason to lie to the questions you asked me before. But I did not. I would not lie to.
Do not
I
interrupt
would
me
not
again.
lie to you.
You have every reason to lie. You are the pact of a creature of the devil. To obfuscate what that entails is very much within your interests. Considering you have empowered it, and it lends credence to the idea.
I tried to save people that were up there, and if breaking down was a way to get out, then I am not the only one to blame for what happened up there.
No one else dealt with the devil up there. You did. Everyone else denied it.
Everybody denied what they saw it. I know they saw it, but nobody made a deal with it. Seems I was the one that tried to make us get out. No one even brought up the idea of breaking down the door.
So why didn't any of you do it?
Perhaps it was panic.
That's faded from memory in the past century.
Perhaps it was the panic. But as I said, I could have brought it up, but anybody up there that was with me could have.
Yes, but that doesn't matter, because you didn't do it. Instead, you dealt with a demon. He looks very tense and like she generally has a very even face, but he looks visibly angry at you. Like it's unusual for him to look so uneven.
As the sheriff then, at this moment in time, moves away from the seneschal, and he looks to Margot. Tell me, my dear, desert, correct?
Sorry, what?
The parable of Jesus in the desert.
You're lagging out a lot. Wait, go again.
The story of Jesus in the desert.
What about it? Did he just say the story of Jesus in the desert?
He asked, do you have that story?
Wait, what? I cannot hear you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He has asked her, does she know the story of Jesus in the desert?
Let's see, what's her theology? No, she doesn't have theology. I'm not aware of this story, I am afraid.
He will visit, and he begins. Jesus went into the desert there he would be tempted by Satan. First, the devil offers him gold and riches, mortal things, things of the earth. He brings Jesus to an incredibly high tower. And he basically, if I remember the story exactly, I believe he says that he will push Jesus from the tower, effectively killing him, unless he gives him his soul. Let's see. Patient. Making stuff. Sorry, I got that completely wrong. Basically, the first one was to make Jesus hunger, refuses. The second was to the second one. There we go. The second one. There we go. It is the second part. It is the second temptation that I am interested in. Satan brings Jesus to and he says, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself from here. And if you do so, God's angels will save you. And despite the danger, despite the fear, the devil, with prompt, could have easily thrown him. And Jesus did. He refused to even question God's authority and God's intellect. If the Son of God, who could have easily jumped from such a place and had the angels save him, refused, that is what I see here. Someone who was brought to the highest point, who was given words, claiming that if they jumped from the tower, the angels would save them. And you did just that. You listened to the tower. Instead, you found only demons. Now, who else is with you in this camaraderie of infernalism in Margot?
I have stated their names, one of which include Madeline, the one who wanted to bring me back to you herself. She was part of what happened there.
No, that is not what I mean. I mean, who else is an infernalist like you?
How would
You
I know?
are the only one who looks at you. Because those who consort with the devil know who else does. If you wish to prolong your existence, like you, and I wished. He just kind of puts his hand upon his blade as if indicating to Margot that he will cut her head off. There is no doubt he will do so. But he is giving her a chance to make something of it, to make something of her already thin in this interrogation. Seneschal to continue his personal interrogation.
Everything I have stated today has been nothing but a truth. If I would, and I said that I do not know who else worked with the devil. Since I did not know that if, well, as far as I know, I have never heard such tales that if one works with the devil, then they know everyone else does.
He simply puts his hand under her chin. Very coldly, you can feel the cold breeze that flows around, taking its feel. And he says, then perhaps we will get you to talk more forcefully. And he will take his hand from your chin as the Seneschal is back. And he returns to his spot. But his blade is now.
My apologies for being away. May I get a quick rundown of what just occurred there?
Essentially, the sheriff gave Margot the parable of Jesus in the desert. He got to the part about the temple, about, Jesus, the devil threatening to throw Jesus, or having Jesus throw himself so the angels will save him. And he says, that's basically you. You were Jesus.
The central agrees. Just nod his head
and so now he's saying, are there other infernalists like you? And if you don't start talking about that, we're going to force you to talk about it. And that's basically it.
All right. Now, not too long after before your arrival, the Prince of Timurin came here looking for infernalists. We always knew they were here.
Where was she when?
Shortly before you arrived in Odessa, the Seneschal mentions that the Prince of Timurin came here looking for infernalists. We've always known they've been here. Who were you to link up with? I would take the sheriff's advice and speak.
You can use the powers that can tell you if I'm telling the truth or not. I bade you here that I was not to meet with anyone. I do not willingly serve the. I do not willingly deal with the demon that's here with me. As I said before,
On the contrary, you dealt with it quite willingly.
To save several other kindred.
The term kindred doesn't really exist yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. To save several other Canaanites.
Save them from a door.
If there was a better idea, then why did no one else come up with it? I was not the only one out there.
You go through the door. It is a door, Margot.
If the door does not move, then you break the door and you walk out of the room. Just because.
Go ahead, sorry.
Just here to this place, would I have to consort with the devil to open the door for me? When I have arms to force the door open? Did you and not the others have doors and arms and legs with which to kick? You are not human any longer. The blood fuels us. It stirs us if we wish it. If only the blood fueled your mind, perhaps you would have thought of it.
Frankly, we have no reason to believe such a ridiculous excuse. But even if it were true, you would either be a menace to this city, an active infernalist, or someone so gullible that you do not deserve to live.
I will not deny what happened up there. I have said nothing but the truth since I came here. But everyone that was up there with me let this happen.
No one dealt with a demon but you. Unless, again, if you wish to imply that they have done the same.
That's not what I'm implying. I'm implying that, well, I'm the one that made the deal to get out, no one did moved a muscle or even gestured to open the door for us.
Then your excuses are meaningless. Any one of you could have knocked down the door. Why didn't you? There is no other explanation. You are an infernalist, willing or no. You have put the city at risk. You have empowered something that is a threat to everyone. And we will inquire further. And once we are done with our inquiries, you will either be a servant to discord in body and mind, or you will be ash at our feet.
I do not know, as I said before, who else worked with the demon, but if others did, then as someone who has spoken to the demon, I can.
You'll be speaking to no demon.
She said, as someone who has spoken. If he has spoken to the demon before, perhaps I'll be one. It will be. Sorry, how can she phrase this? Perhaps I'll be one that can find the others easily, find signs of what they have done.
We'll be the judge of that. And as he says that, the seneschal will just remove a stake from the back of his waist. Oh, back of his waistbelt. Does Margot react to this in any way?
No, well, actually, she'll like open her arms as a sign that I am devoted to this city more than I am to the foul creature that I unwisely made. I will.
He cuts you off and sticks you. It ends at I will. Well, I think that's you get a good portion of the way through your sort of pleading before he just stakes you. I have arranged for transportation, Sheriff, and you do with her as you please. I do possess advanced skills in the art of domination, so if you do require my assistance in that regard, I'll be more than happy to do so. So there's already 2 sets bound to me, so I'll be making the bond secure by the end of this evening, so that we may delve deeper. And I'm certain that the prince will no doubt want to scan her mind for secrets.
Needs to be done to uncover this degeneracy, then we will do all that it takes, then won't we?
Unless it be known to the court that Margot's status as of this point in time is suspended. And that she is no more or less than an unrecognized Canaanite in this city until we deem otherwise.
Agreed.
Very well. Should I, as he just kind of gestures to the limp body of Margot.
The sheriff, without speaking a word, the sato, and he promptly puts it over his shoulder as if he is carrying a sack of wet potatoes. And thus, he says to the seneschal, "Then let us be off."
Quite. I think there, as the scene ends with a staked Ancille and two inquisitive court members, we shall end our scene there. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, second ST for ST. And we'll see you all next time.